The 1930s were a crucial time for graphic design in Australia, particularly in relation to promoting Australia as a modern and progressive country to the rest of the world. With a wonderful relaxed lifestyle, abundant resources and bright future, which was the goal of the Australian National Travel Association. This was the interwar period. People wanted to start afresh after World War One, and technology was advancing. Though the Great Depression had the cities in a slump, there was still strong growth in certain areas and many opportunities to show Australia off to the rest of the world. Graphic designers were in demand, in particular modernist designer Douglas Anand, who created uniquely Australian work within the international field. And the promotions during the interwar period set the foundations for a strong relaunch after World War II through to current times. Technology has continued to advance and budgets are bigger, but many of the same design ideas, principles and stereotypes still apply to the marketing campaigns today, now created by Tourism Australia. Douglas Anand was born in 1903 in Toowoomba, west of Brisbane. After studying at the Brisbane Technical College, he moved to Sydney in 1930, where he set up a small studio. In 1932, he won a poster competition to commemorate the opening of the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which was the beginning of a burgeoning career, working with Atlantic Union Oil, David Jones, Ocean Liners, ANTA, and designing Australian coins. He created magazine cover designs and was principal designer at the Australian Pavilion at the New York World Fair in 1939. A key design philosophy of Douglas Anand was he was concerned more with art and aesthetics than commercialization. Unlike many of his fellow designers, he did not go overseas to get international experience, instead researching and contributing to international journals. He learned international design concepts and made them relevant to Australia's unique culture, establishing high standards for Australian design. Smith was quoted as saying Douglas Anand possesses singular charm and originality. He has a fanciful mind, is versatile and inventive, and this is visible in his work. Douglas Anand's reputation and demand soared after winning the Sydney Harbour Bridge celebration poster competition along with Arthur Whitmore in 1932. The opening of the bridge was a pivotal moment for Australia as it represented the modernisation, development and wealth of the country. The poster was a way to promote this achievement to the world and represented the ideal Australian society at the time, with the strong bronze lifeguard holding the Australian flag, and a healthy, relaxed, attractive couple on the beach. The bridge frames them clearly in the background, an Art Deco monument and engineering masterpiece of the century, while the harbour is bustling with festivities. The use of strong bright colour brings a festive feel and depth to the poster. By the mid-1930s, Douglas and Anand had started working with the ANTA on travel posters, which had become a popular component of campaigns. The posters depicted Australia's natural beauty, unique wildlife, sunshine, open spaces and modern cities. They promoted the pioneering adventures possible through this great land. The ANTA was established in 1929 to create awareness of Australia to the rest of the world, and was partially government-funded, working closely with Australian tourism businesses. During World War II, the international offices closed and the ANTA only started promoting Australia again in 1946. Douglas Anand produced many well-known works for the ANTA during the 1930s when graphic design was thriving and new technologies were being introduced. The Australia Beach poster from 1937 was groundbreaking at the time. Anand had teamed up with good friend, photographer Max Dupain, to create the photo montage featuring an attractive carefree woman in swimwear, the epitome of health. There is a collage of clouds, an expansive blue sky and beach. Anand introduced a geometric style to this poster with a mix of colour and black and white, and has a very modern international feel. Sydney, Australia, See the New World Below the Equator, was also created in 1937 for Qantas Airways Limited. It displays Sydney Harbour in the evening with lights dotted along the shoreline, the harbour bridge standing proudly in the background, the Southern Cross bright in the sky. The raised angle and geometric shape provides a modernist feel, however the raw Sydney typeface and white space represents the openness of the country. Venetian Nights, Sydney Harbour, Australia's 150th anniversary 1938 poster, was another photo montage featuring an aerial shot of Sydney Harbour at night. Electric lights were a very new thing, and this image shows off a stunning light display, portraying a modern, vibrant city from a unique viewpoint at the time. Anand was innovative, using modern materials, technologies, and design processes in his work. His posters have a sophisticated, universal quality of modernism, identifying as they do with contemporary international poster design. They were still uniquely Australian, though, featuring idealised imagery. He achieved this with the use of collage and photo montage, like that in the Australia Beach poster and the 150th anniversary poster, which also featured unique aerial view. It is said this was inspired by his recent first plane flight from Sydney to Melbourne, where he filled up a notebook with sketches. He also used the latest colour and colour photolithographic printing techniques. Anand's award-winning Black Swan cover for the Home Manual in 1937 is a beautiful example of a simple, minimalistic image and colour palette, attention to detail, consideration of composition, choice of subject, and printing quality. The Black Swan is quite distinguishable and only found in Australia. The cover print featured tiny embossed silver dots giving further depth and a luxurious feel to the magazine. Considering the social, political and cultural backdrop in which his designs were created, Anand consistently but respectfully pushed the boundaries, in particular with the experimentation of photo montage and swimwear-clad women in the travel posters. His work was uniquely Australian, but with an international modernist feel. He embraced new techniques, new angles, but always in an Australian way. This was evident at the Australian Pavilion at the New York World Fair in 1939, where Anand was the principal designer and created a huge wall mural featuring an aerial photograph of Sydney. The sheer size of the photograph alone was a good reflection of the Australian technology and ability. This stunning modern city with the technology to create a world-class bridge fitted neatly within the theme of the fair, World of Tomorrow. An article at the time stated, "Our present progress and our potential wealth are presented with a vivid and convincing appeal to the imagination." The method of promoting Australia to entice overseas visitors these days is influenced in many ways by the ANTA posters of the 1930s. Tourism Australia is the government agency now responsible and still promotes Australia as a modern, progressive country and stereotypes of beautiful beaches, landscapes, wildlife and healthy bodies. Current campaigns strategically use well-known celebrities who also happen to fit the healthy body descriptions. The 2018 multi-million-dollar Dundee campaign featured popular actors Chris Lynn and Luke Hemsworth, typical Australian personalities with strong toned physiques. The campaign leverages off the much-loved movie character Crocodile Dundee from the 1980s by teasing about a possible remake. The campaign was launched during the Super Bowl ad break and garnered much attention in the media. Then they encourage visitors to come and explore the Dundee movie set, which is, of course, Australia. It definitely wasn't minimalist, but when it came to showing off the spectacular countryside, no embellishments were needed. The quality and reach of these campaigns reflect Australia as a modern, technologically advanced country who can compete on an international scale. Graphic designers in Australia have continued to consistently push boundaries and utilise modern technology and design ideas to promote Australia as a modern and progressive country. The stereotype of Australia hasn't really changed since the 1930s, with imagery of stunning scenery capturing the essence of the country and the relaxed lifestyle with healthy, happy and active bodies. The campaigns evoke the spirit of the times, they are anti-historicism, use modern technologies and they show Australia for what it is. All of this, coupled with Australia's advancements in technology, latest design ideas and imaginative concepts, puts Australia on an international level and proves Australia is an important, advancing and competitive force. Australia is good at promoting the uniqueness of the country in an international way.